because I mean, as it stands, the American population is 1/4 of certain countries that if man-to-man combat occurred, we can't protect ourselves because we're not legally allowed to acquire the quantity of defense that we would need for the American government to say, oh, we're going to draft everybody. Like if war started in America, we wouldn't be able to back ourselves up because most of us are afraid of guns, and the pacifists don't really believe in having guns. And it's just a really ridiculous concept. If we have the right to it, there's one state, there's a city in Texas that is a law that the head of the household has to have at least one gun. And I mean, we should all have at least one. But if we don't have at least one, we should have at least one per person. And a room full of ammunition. So that if it's going down, if the zombie apocalypse is going down, we got what we need to back ourselves up. Now let's see. He's asking me, what do I think about those boys that are using belts to they're strapping themselves down with lethal devices, and then they're running around doing unethical behavior with those things. Well, I'm going to tell you, if your desire is to go out with a bang, then you only can succeed with that once. But you could fuck it up, and you could fuck it up royally. And if you did fuck it up royally, I mean, you could be maimed. You could be like missing some limbs, like half of your face. If you watch that movie Preacher on Netflix, young boy had tried to take his own life, and he goofed it and blew a hole in his face, and they had to sew his mouth together, and it wasn't very successful. And I got to tell you, the way they stitched his face together, it looks like a butthole, and it's a pretty interesting running gag that they do, because the guy has to like almost spit when he talks to kind of get like his words and everything out, because he doesn't have any teeth or anything in the front of his mouth. And I mean, it's all about like recognizing the fact that he put a shotgun in his mouth and then he tried and he failed. And I'm still trying to imagine how he happened. I'm guessing that he kind of like threw his own head back when he did what he did, and that led to it taking up his upper jaw, but it didn't mess up his nose. It just took up his upper jaw and then kind of messed up his forehead and stuff. So I was just looking at that like, wow. And when I think about people who try and fail, people who try and fail are they're not satisfied by their decision to attempt the attempt. So there you go. If you go over there to like Japan and China and think that because their laws are saying 13 to 16 that you can go over there and make it do what it do, you will end up locked up, fucking around, finding out that the fullest extent of not getting locked down is that you're going to have to find a way to get written consent, and that has to be written, not verbal. You have to get written consent from the child's parents before you do anything that you're not supposed to be doing in America. But America has that same written consent requirement, but nobody ever thinks about written consent. We just make it do what it do, which everything in this country is transactional. And if we were thinking about the transactional lifestyle that we're in, and everybody's just going with the flow and letting the next man do whatever they can with the next man, we're not really paying attention to the fact that if we got a lot of our interactions with one another on paper, we wouldn't be getting fucked over so much. Now, I know you are really excited to see me respond to these next two questions.